Alright guys, this is going to be another quick one. Come on, phone focus. So, EGTs are at 406, and I'm like idling. I mean, not really, but... So, that's an indication that you're probably in passive regen. It might be actively regenning, but, I mean, I wish that this thing had some kind of indication of what's going on. This type of engine load at this low RPM would be, you know, sub 300 degree EGT temps in normal conditions. It's doing something is what I'm trying to get at. And it's something that you should keep in mind in the back of your head. I'm heading up to the property right now to do some food plot work. And you definitely don't want to pull in on thick cut grass when your exhaust system is past the flash point of grass. So it's something to think about, and it's one thing that I really like about the Derringer, that I can monitor that. I wish Ford would give you, I know you can enable it, and I know in a lot of commercial vehicles, because they get themselves into situations like I'm doing and driving into grass and stuff, they have indications on their dashboard whether or not they're, regenning or whatever. Vehicles should really have an EGT gauge when they have something as hot as a DPF unit underneath the truck. And they should really have a DPF gauge too. So Ford, if you're listening, and all brands, I'm not just ripping on Ford. No, my dad's 2016 Cummins doesn't have any way to tell you that it's regenning. And it certainly doesn't have any temperature readout. So having the Derringer at least gives me a bit of intuition as to something's going on. And, sometimes you can watch the def drop a little bit if it's actively regenning. It's so minuscule, though, that it's so hard to see. And you can watch your instant fuel economy, too. So, instant fuel economy, it's kind of low for going as slow as I'm going. I mean, I'm barely using any power. It'd usually be up over 30. I'm really sorry it's not zooming well, guys. It's just the glare. But you can kind of get an idea something's going on. I'm just coasting down a hill. That's why that shot up. There's also a chance it might be done doing what it's doing, because EGTs are climbing below 400 right now. But my point is that having a Derringer or a separate EGT probe gives you an idea to make sure that, because what I found is when it's regenning, I'm monitoring the upstream EGT, which is what's giving me good information about my turbo. If the turbo is, if something bad was happening in the motor, you'd have high EGTs. That's what somebody monitors in a high-performance diesel, is their upstream EGTs and basically as close to the turbo, better yet, in the manifold as they can possibly get. And that's what I'm monitoring. There's 4 different ones on here that I can monitor. I was thinking about making another page and getting an idea what those do, but I'm sure that they're going to say the DPF temperature. But I know that, because I watched it enough, that being that it's at 395 degrees, it's doing something because I'm going so slow. I mean, I'm basically idling right now. I'm sorry it's on zooming, guys. I'm just trying to give you guys as much information as I can. If you bombed in right now on tall grass like that, you might be in for a world of hurt or something like that. You might find that you have a little fire underneath your truck. So it's something to keep in mind. 400 degrees is getting to that point of being, and that's also probably up here underneath the upstream EGT, I think is right by the turbo. So the DPF is going to be hotter because the DPF has like a literal fire going on inside of it. So it's something to be cognizant of. It does have a heat shield like a catalyst does, but it's not 100% effective when these tall stocks are going to be pointing literally right up into the DPF unit. So, yes, I'm not a BMW driver. I do use my turn signal, even though I'm alone on a back road, and I'm proud of it. I don't care. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm just trying to be as helpful as I can. Those of you who don't own a truck like this, maybe you're in the market and you want to understand a couple things, or if you don't own a truck like this, you're just curious, that's great too. If you're not interested in the short videos, then obviously, sorry, don't mean to waste your time. I'm just trying to help people. So this will be a short one, just a couple minutes long, and I think that it might help some with some questions. I've seen some questions regarding heat with DPF online, and it's worth talking about because it's very unfortunate that they just decide that consumers don't need to have the information that they really should have to make educated decisions. If you're working on food plots like I am, you bomb out into a field that you're letting grow weeds because it's just a travel corridor, or it's just a access drive or something, and you're just letting it grow because there's no reason to bring equipment out to cut, what could be bedding area right now for deer. You might end up either damaging your vehicle or damaging your property. So something to think about. It would take extremely tall grass, and it's not like it's happened to me. I do check all the time underneath my truck. when I park in tall stuff. I usually park for a minute and then pull the truck forward 10, 20 feet, 20 feet basically to clear the other side of the truck. Then I go check the stalks to make sure nothing's getting smoky, and then I know that I'm in good shape. It's just another thing to keep in mind, because you don't want to burn up your truck over something stupid. You don't want to burn up your property. So take care of yourselves. Thank you all for tuning in. Hopefully it was helpful to some of you guys. Have a nice day.